I'd like to really welcome you all, very much indeed, to this conference which is entitled Engaging the Human Resource, and which of course is going to be looking at the key issues of public service, productivity and performance. And it's wonderful to see so many of you here from such a very wide variety of public sector organisations. Well, look, I mean, first it was 6.25 billion, and then, of course, we had last week's budget, and it got really serious. Public spending cuts, the like of which we have not seen since the 1930s, since whichever date, in a sense, you care to pick. The coalition, and credit to them, has made its intention clear, and the expenditure review later in the year, of course, will set out the detail. Now, nobody doubts that the deficit needs reducing, but public servants also know that many existing services could be better designed and more effectively delivered, improving outcomes for clients and bringing substantial savings in train. In my view, by presenting the deficit reduction simply as painful but necessary financial cuts, the coalition government risks missing the opportunity of making the case for fundamental service reform as an essential element in the spending reviews. Because cutbacks delivered with a slash-and-burn approach must risk being a blunt instrument, potentially leading to real damage to the fabric of essential services. On the other hand, making the case for fundamental service redesign within strict financial parameters gives the initiative to service deliverers to make far-reaching improvements. Cheaper but better is an aspiration that I know many staff would sign up to. Staff do know where savings can be made, where inefficiencies can be eliminated, and above all, where outcomes can be improved. And I think it'll therefore be a tragedy if ineffective practices, waste and duplication are not tackled, but instead targets that are easier to identify, whatever their social value, are hit first. In my view, the key will be where and how the decisions about what to stop doing, particularly at the coalface, are made. Will staff be engaged in planning and delivering changes and securing savings? Or will a series of central and local diktats lead to panicked, unplanned measures? What are the criteria for services that need protecting and others that could be reduced or eliminated, against which decisions at every level can be made? What are going to be the rules of the game? Or to put it another way, what's the big picture vision of post-deficit public services, so managers and staff alike have something positive to aim for? Because with predicted job losses ranging from the thousands to the hundreds of thousands, levels of anxiety about their jobs and their futures are, we know, sky high among public servants, exactly the people who are going to have to carry many of these plans through. Now, in my view, one of the vital learnings the public sector should make from the recession is the way that, faced in many cases with an equally sheer cliff edge, private companies worked with their staff to minimise the pain while maintaining or improving product quality or customer service. As the CBI's recent report states, and I quote, "Good communication and engagement with staff has been the key to making workforce changes needed to safeguard jobs during the recession." Engagement to survive is exactly what made this recession different. And that, in my view, is exactly what the public sector now needs. Engagement means strong strategic leadership, managers with soft as well as process skills, effective employee voice and organisational integrity, and putting into practice values such as trust, honesty, transparency and partnership ways of working. I think the onus will be on managers to ensure that core and key skills are protected, that priorities for service delivery are arrived at fairly and transparently, that the views and contributions of staff are sought at every opportunity to redesign and re-engineer services. I think new ways of working, continuous improvement regimes, better sickness absence management, improved performance management, focused training which upskills and reskills staff to deliver new priorities and ways of working. I think all of these will be more essential than ever. And so will the crucial role of public sector HR and training professionals as a result. And let's be clear, effective industrial relations will be equally important given the high level of unionisation in the public sector. And I'm delighted that there are several branch secretaries and union conveners here today, and that we have Hugh Lanning from the PCS on later. And if I could just do a little plug, the IPA is doing a masterclass, my very good friend Derek is, in the second session on working with trade unions during the recession. Now, in our recent report on employee engagement, Engaging for Success, David MacLeod and I highlighted a series of case studies across central and local government and the NHS where profound changes in service delivery saved very large sums of money indeed and achieved better outcomes for patients and client groups and staff alike. All of these examples had real and sustained employee engagement at their heart to design and deliver the changes, however difficult they were. So my message to the coalition is simple. Rather than casting public sector staff as the victims of change, designed simply for the dole queue, why not empower them as the agents of service improvement and, yes, of the necessary savings too? I think David Cameron's recent message to public servants is a step in the right direction, but I think that absolutely more needs to be done for this engagement. I think, engaging for reform and for better ways of delivering services, yes, and cheaper ways, absolutely needs to be the watchword.